Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we're at Vallely Sports and Marine, our premier side by side and boat power sport dealer in North Dakota. They have two locations in Minot, North Dakota, and also in Bismarck, North Dakota. Object of our interest today is the 2020 Mahindra Roxor. Here we're looking at one which has the OD green color. Very beautiful to look at. I am just so much in love with the new grille design from Mahindra. They did a great and fantastic job. If you look closely at the grille, the way they describe it in the sales brochure is that it looks like a race track around the headlights. Very original design, and I really like that because if you think about the Roxor when it first came to the United States, many people looked at it, including myself, and I thought it was plastic because the way it's configured, it has a roll cage with a very tall headroom, and that makes it look like it's top heavy, and it just looks goofy. So once you put a lift kit and then tires with the right offset or spacers, bigger tires, then it totally changes the whole game. Because in fact, the Roxor is actually bigger. The top is bigger than many of the older CJs. With that being said, we'll just go over a few things. Major thing for 2020 is that you have the 5.38 gears, which come now standard on the Roxor. Mahindra Automotive North America listened to the customers. That's what most of the guys were complaining about. They were trying to re-gear their Roxors. Now it comes from the factory better equipped to crawl and rock climb. Other thing that is also important for 2020, speeds of course remain the same, 55 miles per hour, and then you can flat tow at let me just check here real quick. You can flat tow at 55 miles per hour also, but if you're towing a trailer behind you, you're limited to 15 miles per hour. We still have the same M2 direct injection common rail diesel engine, which puts out 62 horsepower. It puts out 62 horsepower and what may seem like a very weak 144 pound-foot of torque, but there are many companies out there that actually have tunes for the Roxor, and those bump those numbers up significantly. It's sold here in the United States as a side by side, but of course, just looking at it, you can tell it's a serious off-road vehicle, and it traces its roots back to the original Jeep. Mahindra has been licensed to build this since 1947. That's about 70 years, and these are all 2020s. I just love the look of that grill. The one other thing that actually I believe misled some people when they saw the initial Roxor was the grill. That was a sticking point. The grill had this almost, I would say, hibiscus kind of inspired look. It looked like a hibiscus flower, and that in the minds of many people pointed to an oriental origin, and from there people thought it was like a Chinese copycat with a plastic body. until they actually stopped at the dealers and touched the Roxor, test drove the Roxor, and they realized, this is something serious. It has a boxed steel frame, it has a steel body, the paint is very durable. I love the paint quality on mine. I have a 2018, and all around it's just so well solidly built, and still very basic, which is what most guys want. Some people might say, oh, that's from late 2018, late 2018, 2019. You have that little emblem in there that says since 1947, and then Mahindra Heritage. I believe I have the wording right. Hopefully I have the wording right. So it says something to that effect. When you're driving, you can stare down at it and know that you're driving something that has a long lineage that is very rich and very durable. So yeah, so that's what the 2020 looks like. I just love the overall look. It changes the whole game. Can you imagine? You change just the grill, and this grill, I believe, jives more with the whole spirit of the Roxor and its heritage. It's more conservative, and it just goes along better with the body and the styling, as opposed to the hibiscus grill that kind of made people think that it was from a certain country in the Orient that is very prone to copying original designs. So this, I think, will sit much better with the customers and even the general public at large. I love the grill design. For 2020 also, Mahindra is offering a discount. I believe it's worth about $500 to $550 on the color, body color. So you choose your custom color and they will offer you a discount. Mahindra also offers financing, and they have another promotion going on right now. You can actually buy a Roxor. These are listed, I believe, these are all 2020s. They're listed at $16,599 a piece. It's very competitive, and I think that's a very, very good price point for the amount of vehicle you're getting. I actually think it's a bargain. So Mahindra Automotive is also it's been a couple of months now. They're offering financing, in-house financing. So you can get one of these, and here is the perk. You would have 90 days with no payment. That's 3 months. And so if you're sitting on the fence and you're thinking about getting a Roxor, this might be the time. Just to throw this out there also, yeah, you might say, oh, it's cold out there, it's winter, I need some kind of protection. You are absolutely right. Mahindra offers a cab from Curtis Cabs, that's built by Curtis Cabs, or you could get a cab from DFK Hard Cabs. I got mine through Dirt Legal. They're one of the major suppliers of aftermarket parts for the Roxor, and I believe some dealers actually have like a 20% discount. So Vallely Spirts and Marine also deal with other manufacturers. Here you can see other traditional side-by-sides of the belt-driven variety that top out at 1,000 cc's, and you need turbos to actually increase the power output. So it's just showing you some of the tech that they have. You can see up front, some of these units actually have a camera, so you can see the trail where you're driving upon. And then they also have cabs. Those are the North Star editions. Those cabs, some of them have cabs with heat and AC. And the two-seaters North Star editions, you can get them for about $27,000. And then the four-seater North Star editions, you can get them for about $29,000. And this same Roxor, you can get a Roxor for 16,599. It's like day and night. I wouldn't buy any of those side by sides. Personal opinion. You might have different strokes for different folks, depending on what your mission is. For me, it's the Roxor that uh, fulfills my mission. For some other folks who might want to go maybe 50 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour over the washboard, over rough terrain, yeah, then you might need a more traditional side by side because they're very light and they have a very high suspension travel. So they conquer the uneven terrain without much difficulty. So those are EFX tires, Motivator, I believe. I checked online. I haven't seen a lot of reviews of these tires, but they seem to be quite robust. They're manufactured for UTVs, side by sides, but they are DOT compliant, which is very important, and they are constructed to DOT standards with steel belted construction. So this is just a sand dune Roxor, four-seater with seat belts. And over here, what you're seeing is the four-seater cab for from DFK for the Mahindra Roxor. And if you look at this Roxor very well, you'll see exactly what I was trying to explain. It looks a little bit out of proportion because the wheels look so tiny and the tires, and then the body is like, you know, kind of top heavy. But all of that is very easily cured if you get the proper tires, a little bit larger, maybe with a little lift, and then with spacers. Then your Roxor will sit, more evenly and well balanced. Another thing you have to remember: these DFK hard cab units, they're constructed of steel. They're quite heavy, so once you install them on your Roxor, it's gonna settle a little bit more. It will sit a little bit lower. The roof on mine, cause mine is a not a four-seater but a two-seater. The roof on mine was quite light, but the doors and all the panels, they quite add up to a substantial amount of additional weight. Makes it look like a SWAT vehicle, but just with the right amount of customization and touches, it will look very, very neat. This one has an automatic transmission, will be perfect for a guy who has like a bad knee or is running around on a farm and doesn't want to be shifting. Let's say you're chasing calves or stuff like that. So it has an automatic transmission, and that transmission is very, very beefy. Kudos to the guys at Roxor, Mahindra Automotive North America. They were forward thinking. Oh, those are the wipers. That's about a $400 option when you get the cab, about $400. Yeah, so the guys at Mahindra Automotive North America were forward thinking. They got a very beefy transmission for the auto, and hopefully that will give years and years of service to those who choose to go the automatic route. Mine is a manual. I just went full bore, old school. So here is another peek at those side by sides, the traditional side by sides as we know them today in the market. These would start at about 16 to 17,000 for a bare bones, no windshield, nothing unit. And then you have the fully loaded ones like this. I believe with this is a four-seater, A unit like this would be about $29,000, but just look at the amount of tech that's integrated in there. It's amazing, and these are limited to 1,000 cc's. So if you have to boost your power, you have to start adding turbos, and then they also get quite noisy compared to the Roxor. So yeah, so that's the 2020 Roxor. Can't take my eyes off the Grille. Hopefully, I haven't searched yet, but the Roxor website over the past couple of days, 3, 4, 5 days, it's just been like a feast. It's been changing, updating daily. Got a little bit more information about the power distribution center from Roxor. It's called the Roxbox or Rox Power. I'm not very sure, but they have a new power distribution center where you can power your accessories, and they just all require a direct plug-in, and they're all fused. It just makes adding accessories so much more easier. Well, we've come to the end of this video. I just threw in a couple more bonus shots so you guys can take a closer look at the Roxor, what it looks like, the Grille, which is one of the major changes. You have the 5.38 gears, and then I believe you also have a shroud for the radiator and the radiator fan underneath the hood. Speed is still limited to 55, but that's easily taken care of by a tune. Thanks for watching. If you love the video, make sure you subscribe, and we'll be having updates over the next couple of days. Bye.